Hello, welcome back to our MekHQ campaign, Raven Acquisitions. In the last episode, we managed to complete our mission. We got a payout. We're currently at 32 million Seabills, so we're sitting pretty. We also picked up our next mission on Concord, which is where we are going now. We managed to order some hover tanks to be the start of a new maneuver lance. They'll be the core. We might throw in a mech in there as well if we can ever find a decent one. It'll go with that. And that's about it. Everything else is in transport essentially. We got our convoy set up, so we're good to go. So we're going to start advancing. Let's see, 1 week at a time. Hey, the Warhammer was delivered. We're going to start advancing 1 week at a time while checking out the personnel market as we go. We can go to the command center here. 5 jumps remaining. You get about 1 jump per week in BattleTech, as it takes basically a week to recharge your jump sales or whatever they are. Here's another commander. We will hire them. We can check out the unit market. Is it a new month? Not yet, maybe. Yeah, not really. So we're going to keep advancing. New week. Personnel market, nothing. Probably because we're in space. Logistical, yeah, we'll hire a new logistics person. That'll help us with acquiring parts and units and everything else. Still got 2 weeks remaining on the jump. We're going to be going into a new month. Nothing. What about the unit market? Not really a lot going on here. There is a Crusader. I do like Crusaders. They're all right. They're basically a weapons platform. There's not a lot to them. Falcon hover tank. That would be a nice pickup, but it is the black market. I don't have much hope of actually getting it. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get this Crusader. It'll be a good backup mech, and if we ever capture enough or buy enough units, we'll be able to essentially start a whole new lance, new frontline lance. So that'll be here in 4 months. We have 1 jump remaining. Let's start advancing days individually. All right, we're 3 days out from the planet. 2, 1, and there we are. We have arrived. Now we have to take this Warhammer out of mothballs. We're going to activate it. Green Technician, that's fine. We have some repairs we have to do. So the leg is still in transit. Still, everything else is in transit. So these mechs are down for a while. We need to go over here and set up a patrol. So Charlie Lance is our patrol. Able Lance is front line. And we're essentially good to go here. We've arrived, so let's save our campaign. And we need to start scouting. This first drop is always the most nervous of them, because you could land on an enemy unit and be forced into a fight. Hey, hostile artillery base. There we go. What does it tell us about that? That is the contract objective right there. That is the mission. We have 3 supply points. So we could immediately deploy the Able Lance. And Hostile battle value is 5,800. We have allies coming in at 5,300. We'll just commit. We get minefields as well. We do or they do. And that's happening in 3 days from now. So let's advance a day. The Warhammer should be up and running now. It is. Let's put one of these new. Well, we'll give an elite. Is this the Lamb pilot? Having an elite Warhammer in the field would be fantastic. We're going to give them a green technician. That's just your basic maintenance stuff, so the green technicians are fine for that. And then we can assign that Warhammer to Baker Lance. Actually, I want to assign it to Able Lance. Can I do that? I cannot. The Centurion's still down. Oh, hey, look at that. I can add the Warhammer in there. Excellent. I think that's the Lamb pilot. Okay, so this Warhammer, we're gonna. I can't undeploy it. So if it comes down to it, I don't know. I'm just gonna like. There's no reason we would deploy this because it doesn't have a leg. Well, we'll see how this goes. What if could I go into GM mode and do that? Because, well, let's be honest, there's no reason why. Let's see, can't do that. Okay, that's sometimes you do want to go use GM mode for things like that. It's a new Monday, so personnel market, VTOL pilot. Hey, you know what? We can put him into the Karnov. There's a new mechanic. Take that. Mech warrior, not so good. So we're gonna say no to her. Advance a day. Advance a day. And let's start the game. It's a hot desert base there. So what is the objective? We have to destroy or cripple 75% of the Op 4 in the artillery garrison. We can leave intact the base defenses in order to get control of the facility. Now, what if we deployed Baker Lance as reinforcements? The target number is a 12 plus. We can do 10, 8. You know what? We're going to skip that, and we'll probably we'll go with what we got. I'm a little bit nervous because the Warhammer is missing its freaking leg. But if nothing else, I can just eject the pilot. Yep, there's the Warhammer with its leg. Its current 868 battle value. They're the Karnovs. That's their artillery. Wow, they got a lot of artillery. Okay, well, let's go for it. Our turn to deploy minefields. They'll be deploying in the center of the battlefield. Yep. So again, we're looking for choke points as our special ops. Get in there. Let's see, put a minefield. Hang on, where are we deploying? We're deploying northwest. So we'll be up here. So we want to go with like, we want choke points, but we want choke points we can get around. So we're going to go with right there. We're going to go with right here. We'll go with this. And we'll go with this. And hit done. Thought we were getting reinforcements, but I guess not. Okay. Let's deploy this damaged Warhammer first. It has a 1/1 movement, but maybe I can just retreat it off the table. We do have an awesome. That would be Odin himself. How are we getting into the city? Probably. There's a lot going on. Probably down this way. This flank here will probably do. I'm going to put him right here. The Grand Dragon can go like that and start working his way south. The Ostrak is going to go with him. And then the Warhammer is going to go with Odin. So we have a lance. So we have 2 teams of 2 essentially. All right, can we flee? We can. We can flee her off the battlefield. Just double check this is the right one. Yep, this is the one that's missing a leg. Flee. All right, let's get this Grand Dragon into the action here. Am I going to go through here or am I going to go down south? I think I'm going to go through here. So I'll go like this and turn. We're planning future movement essentially. And then Odin is going to start marching in here. Turn. This Warhammer, incredible pilot, 2-3. All right, the Warhammer fled. The SRM carrier hit a mine. Hurrah! Which one did they hit? That one. Good. Good, good. The power of sabotage. What was the line from The Office? It's like the ancient Dutch art of uh, doing the opposite of what you're told, or something like that. All right, an 11 to hit. You know, if we can get a lucky hit on these Karnovs, that would be pretty sweet. 9s. I'm going to heat up a little bit to do it, but it's worth trying to knock one down early. We did hit the front. There we go. Both PPCs hit for that elite pilot. 1 Karnov down. We're destroying 75% of these, right? Yes. Skip attacks. All right, Odin's gonna come running into the city. Odin's not really fit to be fighting in the city with the PPCs, but he does have the armor and the weight to throw around essentially. Or yeah, just go like this and start kicking this artillery. What is that? It's a thumper. It's pretty good armor. Really good armor, actually. Like this, and turn. There's not really much else going on down here. What this thing? How tough? That's a really tough building, isn't it? Those are really tough. Let's get the We'll move the Ostrich up. We're going to start trying to get them into the city. I do see some mechs in here. I don't know what they are. Thunderbolts and an Ostrich. Yeah, those are pretty tough. All right, awesome. Any shots just on this turret here? This is an LRM-5 turret. This is an autocannon turret of some kind. They're medium lasers. Where are the rest of the turrets at? Is there already just two of them? Well, we'll shoot at the LRM turret. Blocked by line of sight. Blocked by line of sight. Okay. No shots. Grand Dragon can unleash the PPC, but we will unleash the lasers instead. Skip with the Ostrich. Then we'll fire a PPC off in that general direction there. All right, we have immobilized that Thumper. Wow, there's an ER large laser in that heavy turret. Incredible. Is that one? That is that one. Okay. Well, it's locked now. Well, no, it's not locked. It's just, I think that's just for this phase, essentially. Skip. And we will leave that Thumper where it is because that is going to be salvage we can regain later. Okay. Let's get the Grand Dragon out of here. He's going to have to make a piloting check to get out. I'd like this and turn. And then we're going to move the, let's see, the Warhammer. Jeez, took a head hit. That is a nasty head hit. Let's get the Ostrich in here. All right, let's get Odin in here. We do not have edge on that Warhammer pilot, just on the ones that started with the unit, essentially. Why do I keep saying essentially? I'm sorry. I've noticed that. I'm going to back up that Warhammer a little bit. This is one of those times when we do want to save the meat. Couple of shots at the Karnov. Twist to get my right arm into play. 12s to hit that VTOL. That's pretty annoying. The 9s. Well, we scored one hit on it. Not quite dead yet, but most of the way. And we will march Odin in here. The unit lead, taking the lead. It's worth a try. And then we'll can't back up and go uphill at the same time, so we're just gonna turn that way. The Ostrich. The enemy Ostrich fell down. No shots. Grand Dragon's going to twist and get his right arm PPC into play. Nope. And nope. We're going to skip. Ostrok. Where did that Karnov go? What's up here? Oh, I should have shot at it. Ah, that's foolish. Twist. Can't really hit anything. Can't hit anything with the Warhammer. That's fine. We're to get the Warhammer out of there. Grand Dragon. Slowly making his way into the city. How tall is this? It's height 1, so he has partial cover behind there. So we're going to walk the Ostrok down here first. Give him a little bit of a movement modifier. And then, actually, the Awesome can't go very far. I think there's a height change in there. So, oh, that's nice. The Karnov has retreated. It was damaged enough that it fled. We'll take it. So the Awesome has no targets. The Ostrok's going to get pummeled here, I think, unfortunately. And we're going to fire at who? This guy. Yeah, we're going to fire at that feller right there. Couple of medium lasers. And what if I twist? Just out of range, but I also don't have line of sight anyhow, so no biggie. Right. The enemy Ostrok's taking some damage, but so am I. We're both taking damage to the arms. Mine falls down. It's another city brawl, but this is the contract objective here. Maybe they'll run up and try to kick me? It would be cool to lure him into the minefield. All right. I've got essentially no good targets here, although I can hit that base defense, but we really just want to focus on op4 if we can. That is one thing about this bot. They will, if they get the advantage of being able to hide in a city, they will use it. I would like very much for my Warhammer to be able to come in here and help fight, but it is currently rocking 1 armor left on the head. So basically, a medium laser would take him out. Even a machine gun or a single SRM hit would go internal and risk killing the pilot. That's height 3. That should protect me a little bit. Well, I mean, if nothing else, the awesome can get in there and brawl. Well, we can somehow see the thunderbolt. Oh, there went the left arm on the Ostrich. Luckily, there's not really anything important in there. Really would have liked to make use of some minefield, like lure them into them, but they are just not moving. I think Odin's just going to have to start overheating and just pummel the heck out of these guys as best as he can here. Right, so we've immobilized the artillery tank. Start kicking down these buildings if we have to. My Ostrich is in some trouble. So we're going to back up. We're going to move the Grand Dragon in here. He can take the Ostrich's place in that brawl, essentially. And Odin's going to stand right here so he can see over this building and start working on that thunderbolt. Because the artillery is immobilized, it's crippled. Basically, you're aiming to cripple or destroy. So that does work. Okay. We can hit the T-bolt. We need 5s, so let's light them up. The Grand Dragon could hit that. Let's view that Bulldog. The armor. There's a chance to take down the Bulldog, so we'll shoot our mediums at that. And we'll save the kick for the enemy Ostrich. And we will put a large laser, plus a couple of mediums, I think. Just one, into that Bulldog in hopes of destroying it. So the Bulldog is immobilized as well. Bulldog is gone. Grand Dragon goes down, I think. Oh, it got hit in the head. Okay. It does go down, though. Ay, caramba. Well, kick this again. Cool. Yeah, we're just taking ridiculous amounts of damage. but we are trying to complete the mission. All right, let's move the Warhammer first. The whammy. There we go. What is the enemy battle value here? Is it 75% we have to take down? Cripple, destroy, cripple, or force to withdraw 75%. So we have artillery garrison. Artillery garrison's done. That's destroyed or crippled. We just need to take down one of these mechs. So we're going to walk the Ostrok over here to get some cover behind the building. We're going to stand up the dragon and face the enemy. And Odin, I guess, will block by terrain, so I have to, what if I go here? That's, I think that's good. Okay, so Odin's gonna back up right here and just present himself as a target. Just keep eating damage for now. Oh, come on, man, I really can't hit anything? That's not cool. That's not nice at all. Well, we'll shoot the building. Grand Dragon will just, I guess, pummel this Ostrok a bit more. And we'll fire at the op4. And done. Grand Dragon's taking a lot of damage to the torso. He fell down again. Get out of here. Alright, well, the Grand Dragon's in some trouble. We need to stand him up and just rotate him out, I guess. I'm going to walk the... Stand him up and move that way. And then turn around. Alright, well, he fell. He fell again. Fantastic. Well, get up. Face that way. The Awesome's going to walk into the rubble here. The Ostrok is going to stay where he's at. Oh, this is obnoxious. My poor Grand Dragon. 9s to hit this T-bolt. We're gonna do it. Let's throw in the small laser. Grand Dragon's gonna keep. Well, I'm gonna fire what I got here. Grand Dragon might be going down. Would have been great to have the Warhammer in there. All right, I'm gonna kick the T-bolt. I'm gonna kick the Ostrok. This building. It's not gonna go down no matter how long I kick it, basically. Got punched in the head. The Ostrok still on his feet. Go for the Warhammer, and we're gonna flee the battlefield with him. My Ostrok here, still horrendously damaged. What the Grand Dragon? Yeah, he's not looking good, so we're going to eject the Grand Dragon. The Awesome, I don't even know, the Ostrok will March up that way, I suppose. And the awesome will go armor. The armor's still pretty decent. He's just gonna hold still. All right, we're gonna let's see here. I do have a chance to take down the Awestruck. Yeah, so we will just fire into the Awestruck. We will overheat again. Everything's going to shoot at my awesome. Cool, I destroyed the leg. Awesome. Very cool. Kick. Skip. All right, but the question is, hang on, where's my round report? Oh, there it is. Um, yep, that's he's crippled. That is the other percentage to get him below 25. So the garrison, the artillery garrison, we have 2 crippled tanks. We have a crippled Ostruck, and that is it. You can see that says crippled there, and then the one with heavy damage is the T-bolt that's still standing. We're done. It was bloody. It cost us a leg, but we did it. And we preserved the facility. Done. Nope. Nope. And done. We retain control of the battlefield. Yes, we do. So the Awesome's going to be out of the fight for a while. Since we're going to replace the leg, it's going to take 4 months to get a leg. But we did put that Warhammer in the unit there. Okay. The Thunderbolt technically escapes. The light, these do not escape because they're in the building. They can't move. Salvaged. We can salvage. The Ostrok's missing a leg. I don't really want to salvage that. But money is money. So we get 60% of this. What if we do salvage? We can grab that. That's cool. And then maybe we'll... I don't know what we'll do with it, but we'll figure out something. It's another leg we have to order. So that ballista was the thumper was the dragon. The ballista was the Ostrok. The SRM carrier died to mines, and this Ostrok went down to Odin. We forced the withdrawal. Nope. We preserved. There we go. So we keep the facility for ourselves. We'll issue some awards here for being wounded. There you go. You get some purple hearts. You get your first combat experience with the units. The area of operations, we've lit up some of this area here. We go to the repair bay. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's a 1-day deployment period. So we hit advance a day. And now they've returned from combat. And we have to start ordering parts again. So find, oops, parts needed. Trying to order all. And you know what? These are not expensive, so we're just going to go ahead and order extra of all of these, just in case we lose the legs in the future, and arms and whatnot. So what we can repair is the Ostruck. We're going to be missing an arm. So we repair the center. We're going to do some manual repairs here. So elite. We're going to replace the armor. We use some of our not great technicians for that. Veteran, do the task, replace armor. And then this is the arm, but we can keep using the awestruck even with no arm. Why is it so hard to replace that leg armor? Question. So yeah, the arm is shot on this thing, but we can repair the torso. Our elite technician's good for that. And then do task. So this leaves us with the awestruck, which is missing its left arm, but it's still serviceable otherwise. The warhammer just needs head armor replacement. The wasp needs a leg. The centurion still needs a leg. This warhammer needs a leg. The grand dragon is inoperable. Oh, because we ejected it. So now we can just use mass repair salvage. So, oops, select units and go. And the awesome will have some repairs done. The grand dragon will have some repairs done. We could use more technicians as always, but we're just essentially going. I keep saying essentially. We're basically going to advance a day. So we've got some stuff on the way here. These are a lot closer than I would have thought. You know, better than 120 some days. They're coming in 70 days. Now the interesting thing is, let's see here, the hangar, repair bay. This is the awestruck that we captured. It's missing a leg. So we're going to go over here to this parts needed report for the awestruck. Right leg. We're going to order 2 more of those because we're going to have 2 awestrucks in the future, possibly. Now the interesting thing is we need a turning point mission, and then we can call this basically a victory because we've captured the facility. This is an objective raid. We don't have to hold it for any particular period of time. We just need to get a campaign victory point. We can advance another day. Check out our repairs. The Grand Dragon's still being worked on. We'll replace the laser. We'll fix the armor. We'll fix the torso and advance another day. And advance another day. And this gives us a new personnel market. Oh, hey, this is pretty cool. This is a recruitable unit here. We can recruit some motorized infantry. We will take them. We'll hire those guys. There is an elite VTOL pilot. We'll hire them because we do have the thingamabobber on the way. The VTOL. No more mech techs, but we can get a veteran WASP pilot. We're going to say no. I would like to have the pilot, but I don't need another WASP. Hangar. Or repair bay. The awestruck. So he's just missing his arm. Don't have to worry too much about these that are in repair because we don't have the limbs to actually replace them. But our TOND, we have, let's swap out the Grand Dragon pilot. She's hurting. Infirmary. Actually, I think that's the Grand Dragon pilot. Let's put them under. Okay. And then last thing we're going to do before we call this episode is we're going to go into mass personnel training. We're going to check out our mech techs. We're going to go down here, any experience level, any rank. We're going to go down here to tech mech. And we have a couple that can level up. So we're going to spend the experience to do that. And we're going to go to our administrators. We're going to see if they can do administration. They cannot. We're going to see if they can do negotiation. Nope. And then we're going to check out our logistics. No. Transport, no. And HR, no. What if we go up here to administration? No. Finally, we're going to do our mech warriors. We're going to go with gunnery mech. No one is able to level up yet. What about gunnery, or not gunnery, piloting mech? No. However, we have one more little thing we want to do here real quick. We gained a motorized infantry platoon. We're here to table of organization and equipment. We're going to go to our support company. We're going to add a new force of security. Copy the icon. We're going to paste the icon. And we're going to change it over to here it is, infantry. Infantry. Oh boy, I really don't like how it doesn't remember the color. Now we add a unit of infantry. We can change the force type to security forces. And now we have the capacity to hold prisoners, or maybe we don't. I don't know. I thought we would, but I'll have to look into that some as well. All right, good enough. Save campaign. I appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.